Star Wars space battles have always been so cool. Hi guys, Axial GT here. Today we're looking at Star Wars Squadrons. And since I'm a huge Star Wars fan, of the games, movies, TV shows, I like all of them. Well, wait a minute. Movie-wise, I like the originals, the prequels have grown on me, and the latest trilogy, like is not a word I'd like to use. Let's just say it wouldn't hurt my feelings if Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and definitely Kathleen Kennedy were to be shipwrecked on a deserted island, never to touch Star Wars again. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about movies or TV shows. I'm here to talk about games. And to be honest, if it wasn't for EA doing such a really good job with the handling of Jedi Fallen Order, I probably wouldn't have thought much of Star Wars Squadrons. EA has a tendency to ruin everything it touches with over-monetization and loot boxes, or their idiotic term, surprise mechanics. With Battlefront 2, it was, surprise, we broke it off in your backside. Now the game has since been fixed, but first impressions are always really important. And I'm excited to say, Star Wars Squadrons will have no microtransactions, so that definitely piqued my interest. I remember in my younger days playing countless hours of X-Wing vs TIE Fighter, and I always loved hopping in the cockpit for some epic space action. I was enthralled. And over the years I was hoping for some sort of new game or even a possible remake. So for this video I figured I would compile a list of everything we know about Star Wars Squadrons and put it all in one place. And if you're going to enjoy the video, remember to smash that like button and subscribe for future Axial GT content. Together we can create Galactic Empire! Okay, maybe Galactic Empire is a stretch, but maybe I'll just say a growing gaming community. And it does help with the YouTube algorithm. So with that out of the way, moving on. The game's story is set after the Return of the Jedi, or maybe we should say stories, since the game's focus is on two fighter squadrons. The New Republic Vanguard Squadron, and the Empire's Titan Squadron. And it is said the plot, or most of the plot, revolves around the New Republic's Project Starhawk, which is the New Republic's Starhawk class battleship, and deals with the first prototype of this new class of battleship. The New Republic wants to see the project kept quiet, but the Empire has secretly found out about it and are dispatching spies. And as a bonus, we may see a few characters from the films, but that's only rumor. As for the gameplay, this is a space fighting game. You are put into a cockpit of some of the galaxy's most iconic fighters. For your bombers, you have the TIE Bomber and Y-Wing, and the support role you have the TIE Reaper and U-Wing. As for the Interceptor class, you have the TIE Interceptor and the A-Wing. And the most iconic is the fighter role, where you have the TIE Fighter and X-Wing. And while taking inspiration from Star Wars space simulators of old, the dev team really wanted to make Star Wars Squadrons its own thing, with its own merits, not just a copy and paste of things of yesteryear. EA is calling this the definitive Star Wars pilot experience. And while I always have reservations when EA speaks, so far it's looking like the space fighting sim Star Wars fans have been asking for years. And as an added bonus, I will say again, Star Wars Squadrons has no microtransactions and is not a live service game. So all the unlockable content is done through gameplay. And there are tons of unlockables and customization to make your ship your dream vehicle. Now not only will the game have a single player story mode, but also has a multiplayer component, which is also the dev's main focus for the game. And I'm also sure that for many gamers, this will be the game's most played mode. There's two modes for launch in multiplayer. Dogfight mode, where the players participate in 5-on-5 battles, and is, I'm sure, one of the first things I'll do when I step into the game. If anything, to give me that nostalgic X-Wing vs TIE Fighter feel. And then we have the almighty fleet battles, which is still 5v5, where the premise is the same, except it'll be in stages. You start off dogfighting and graduate to taking on capital ships and beyond. And fleet battles are said to offer an option to play with bots, turning what is a multiplayer experience into a sort of co-op action, where you and your friends take on the bots of the opposing side. Now, as a little bit of a side note, fleet battles are said to be a little on the difficult side. That's why they added in a practice mode, so you can try out different strategies on taking out capital ships, as strategy and communication is key to winning your fleet battle. Now when it comes to maps, yes, there is more than one, because obviously no one likes playing the same damn map over and over and over and over. And in Star Wars Squadrons, we'll have access to 6 maps, some places we've seen in movies, TV shows, and previous Star Wars games, and others might be new to some, but it's a nice addition. The game launches on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And the PC and PS4 players will have an additional adage, as those platforms can play the game in virtual reality. And I do plan on reviewing this game, and I'll also be trying it both ways, through the standard PC play and through my Oculus Rift for VR. Now we'll go over the PC system specs. And this is what they're looking like. For a minimum, we need a Windows 10, a Ryzen 3 1300X, or i5 6600K for the CPU, 8GB of memory, and your GPU should be at least an NVIDIA GTX 660 or a Radeon HD 7850, 40GB of hard drive space, and a 512 kilobits per second internet connection. And the recommended specs look like this. Of course, we have again Windows 10, the CPU raises to a Ryzen 2700X or an Intel i7 7700, 16GB of memory, and an equivalent GPU of the Radeon RX 480 or NVIDIA's GTX 1060. Now, to run the game in VR, you will need a little bit more juice in the GPU department. While you'll keep the same CPU and memory as the recommended, your GPU will need to increase to an RX 570 or GTX 1070. Now, for those who don't know what they have in their rig, you can press the Windows key on your keyboard and type in and run DXDIAG. That's your Directx Diagnostic. The System tab will show your PC and RAM, and the Display tab will show your GPU. Just a little FYI for those who need it. And yes, it was just announced that Wars Squadrons will have full HOTAS support. And for those who don't know what that means, that's hands-on, throttle, and stick. So all you flight stick players out there can rejoice. So I guess it's about time I reinvest in one. It's been years since I've had a HOTAS setup. Now we come to the release date portion of the video. Some may know it already, others may not, but the date is October 2nd of 2020. Just right around the corner from the making of this video. So Star Wars fans, mark your calendars. And also, this is not a $60 AAA title. It's priced at $40 here in the US. And as of right now, this is a standalone game. But depending on feedback and popularity, it has been said that future DLC is not out of the question. But at launch, the single player and multiplayer modes have been and will be the focus. And if you're looking to buy the game, there's one thing that's really nice to see. You can buy this game wherever your heart's content. Retail stores, console online stores for your digital copies, and as for PC, you can buy on Steam, Epic Games, EA, or your normal brick and mortar stores. There are no exclusives here. I wish more games would drop the exclusivity crap for cross-platform games. The only one left that I really wish it would be on is GOG, but I guess we really can't have everything. And I think that's a good overview of what we know of Star Wars Squadrons. I'm really excited to play. I love Star Wars, as I said earlier. So what do you guys think? Is it a hit, a miss? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified of future Axial GT content. I know the Directx Empire is just around the corner. But until next time, guys, I am out of here. You all have a good one.